So, brand love, what is that? This is a concept that I learned while working for Coca-Cola. They used to measure that through, I believe it was Cantor at the time, basically capturing what people think about the brand, how they feel about a specific brand, and if that's going to generate sales. Of course, this is a very slow process to do it like through surveys. So at Crant, we've developed a new way of doing it, of capturing brand love, but using social media. So I want to show you an example and actually a pretty cool comparison between Coca-Cola and Liquid Death, which is like a brand that I love because of what the stuff that they're doing. So let's look at that. So this is the dashboard. We have currently all of the brands selected here, but let's select only Coca-Cola and Liquid Death. All right. So as expected, of course, Coca-Cola has a higher brand love, but I think this is a little unexpected. There are moments where Liquid Death actually surpasses them. And Liquid Death has been growing in the last few months like a lot. And currently they're like one of the super brands. So this is in terms of brand love. But now let's deep dive into this and have a look here. Because look at the share of voice. So in this time frame, I selected, I think, 1st of January until July, so until today. And of the 100% of the posts, 73% are Coca-Cola posts. So in total, 396 are Coca-Cola posts, and only 143 are Liquid Death. Now, if you look at the share of engagement, is almost 50-50, which is really interesting because Liquid Death having so much less volume, let's say. But Liquid Death, which with each post, they generate an average 26,000 engagements, whereas Coca-Cola only 9,000. So this is already interesting. And then if we look at the platform comparison, it becomes even more interesting because you see that almost 67% of the total amount of posts are on YouTube, which already gives us an indication that one of these brands is relying heavily on YouTube ads, whereas 50% of the posts are on Instagram and then 8 on TikTok. All right, and the platform generating the highest engagement between those two brands is, of course, Instagram, then TikTok, then YouTube, then LinkedIn, and Facebook is actually the smallest for these two companies. Now, if we do the comparison between the two, and let's look only at Coca-Cola, right? I want to look at the platforms here. See, 84% of the posts are on YouTube. So Coca-Cola, of course, a brand that invests tons of money on paid media. Yes, they are here. But then on the other platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok, they're actually generating very little engagement in comparison to Liquid Death. And if we look at the top posts for these two brands, we can see that the top two posts are Liquid Death with an engagement of 500,000. And then Coca-Cola's best post with the highest engagement is on YouTube with 350,000. So let's look at this. What this is, let's look at Liquid Death. I don't know if you guys saw that, but this is really cool. It's like a limited edition that they did, of course, using their like wild humor and very expressive way of doing things here with Travis Barker. And then Coca-Cola's top post. Okay, so this kind of confirms what we were seeing before. that Coca-Cola relies more on paid advertising, whereas Liquid Death is fully, strongly, organically. So that is a good thing. Then let's look at their pillars. Again, let's compare only Coca-Cola and Liquid Death. Let me see here, Liquid Death. And then where's Coca-Cola? All right, we already see Liquid Death generating tons of more engagement and creativity and innovation and inspiration, people and culture. Coca-Cola more promotional experience and a little bit of creativity. But Liquid Death, super interesting case study for any marketer. They're a very, very well-defined brand with very well-defined and activated pillars. So they're doing amazingly here. And now, last thing that I wanted to show you guys is what's driving for each of these companies in terms of visual features that we detect using AI, and then we cross-reference that to the engagement. So let me pick up Coca-Cola here, right? So not surprising, fluid, drinkware, liquid. This is kind of expected, right? So let's select drinkware. All right, things like this, but not only the can, but for example, this marshmallow guy or here. This is all drinkware, right? So pretty well identified by the AI. And this in average is generating 2,400 engagement, which is not much for Coca-Cola being a super brand. Whereas let's look at Liquid Death, right? They are generating 7,500. So I think it's what, 2 times the time? Yeah, almost 3 times the engagement. And then they're doing it with things like this, wrist, of course, showing a lot of tattoos, but not just tattoos, also doing very interesting stuff on TikTok. Tattoos, then of course, and then we also have muscle, well, elbow, a lot of body parts, of course, being a brand that celebrates that rocky lifestyle. So really, really cool. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this, the comparison between Coca-Cola and Liquid Death, how Coca-Cola is much more traditional, relying on paid media, whereas Liquid Death, very disruptive, very much relying on organic, and they have grown like a lot. If you like the video, please comment if you want me to do another brand, and I'm happy to do that for you.